The lights are behind you, and the officer is at your window. You are seconds away from giving up more than you should. Have you ever handed something over too fast during a stop? Yes or no? Most drivers think the danger starts when they say something dumb. A lot of times, it starts earlier than that. It starts with your hands. It starts with your wallet. It starts with your phone. It starts with that fast, nervous move you make because you want this over. Here's what most people do wrong. They panic, then they start grabbing. They open the glove box before anyone asks. They dig through a purse. They pull out a whole wallet and hand it over. They unlock a phone. They think they have to. They offer papers, bags, or keys. They even offer their device just to seem helpful. This is the mistake. This is exactly where things fall apart. The officer does not know. They do not know what you are reaching for. The camera only sees movement. Later, the record may show that you opened access or gave permission, and you might have handed over more than needed. Most have no idea. They think being calm means being extra helpful. They think yes is innocent. But a traffic stop is not the time to get loose with your privacy. It is the time to get clear. It is the time to slow down. It is the time to say the right line before you hand over anything. That one line can make your movements safer. It can make limits clear. It can stop a bad misunderstanding before it starts. It can keep you from handing over things you were never required to give. Once you understand that, the whole stop feels different. You stop acting from fear. You start acting with purpose. You stop trying to win approval. You start protecting yourself the smart way. I have studied real traffic stop situations for a long time. I've gone through body cam footage and court records. I have seen the same mistake happen over and over again. Good people panic, move too fast, and talk too much. They hand over control before they even know what is happening. Here is the first move. I call it the reach warning. This solves the first big problem. Most drivers move before they explain. That is a bad trade. A silent reach can look risky. Maybe your license is in your back pocket or your registration is hidden. Maybe your insurance card is in the center console under napkins. Maybe all of it is buried under old fast food bags. You know you're just looking for paperwork. The officer does not know. All they see is your body turning and your hands leaving sight. Your car is opening up in different places. That changes the mood. A stop that could have stayed simple can suddenly feel tense. Here is what most people do wrong. They hear the request and dig. No warning, no pause, no clear words, just movement. This is exactly where things fall apart. You need a line? Use a line that slows the moment down and tells the officer the plan. Say exactly this. My license is in my wallet, and my registration is in the glove box. How would you like me to get them? That line works because it turns a mystery into a simple plan. You are naming the items and you are naming the location. You are asking for guidance before you move. That matters. It shows you are not refusing. It shows you are trying to be safe. It also makes the officer part of the process. Now they know what to expect. You're asking for guidance before you move. That matters. It shows you are not refusing. It shows you are trying to be safe. It also makes the officer part of the process. Now they know what to expect. They can tell you to use one hand or to move slowly. They can tell you to wait. That is better than guessing. It is also better for you if the stop gets reviewed later. Anyone listening can hear that you try to be careful. If your documents are in a hard spot, say that too. If your wallet is under your leg or your insurance is in your purse, say it. If your registration is stuck behind old papers, say it. Never turn, reach, or dig in silence. Give the warning first, then follow directions. If you are carrying something legal, move the same. Do not surprise anyone with movement. Use words before hands. That is how you lower fear and lower risk. It keeps the stop from spinning out. Calm words make safer hands. That keeps you steady and in control. Now here is the next move. This is where most people completely lose the edge. I call it the exact ask. This move protects you from overgiving. A lot of drivers think they should pass over whatever seems helpful. That is how people end up giving a whole wallet instead of a license. That is how people hand over keys or bags nobody asked for. That is how people let an officer take a phone for an insurance card. Fear pushes you to overgive. You want the stop over. You think maybe if I hand over more, this will go smoother. But more is not always better. More can mean more access. More can mean more questions. You gave away control without knowing. Here is what most people do wrong. They hear a vague request. They answer it with a big handoff. The officer says something broad. The driver fills in the blanks. That is a mistake. Broad requests create broad mistakes. Make the request narrow. Say exactly this. Before I hand that over, am I required to provide it? That line is simple, but it does a lot. It forces clarity, not fuzzy, not guessed. Clear. It keeps your tone calm. You're not saying no, you're asking what is required. It gives your brain a second to catch up. That pause matters. Panic loves speed. Smart drivers slow things down. This line also protects you from social pressure. Many hand things over because they feel rude if they do not. This question gives you a clean middle ground. You are respectful. This question gives you a clean middle ground. You are respectful. But you are not giving away extra access just for awkwardness. Use this line for a phone, keys, bag, or a wallet. Use it for anything that opens more than one door. In many states, you're expected to show basic documents. That does not mean every other item in your car is up for grabs. The exact ask keeps the stop tight and your side clean. It tells you where the line is before you step over it. Clear questions protect your space. Smart drivers stop overgiving. Drop an I am learning in the comments to help others. Here's the next move. This protects your phone. I call it the phone wall. Your phone is not just a screen. It is your messages, photos, maps, and bank app. It is your family chats and your search history. It is pieces of your private life that have nothing to do with a stop. That is why this mistake gets dangerous fast. A driver hears, "Let me see your phone," and hands it over. Or they unlock it because they feel trapped. The stop feels official. The request feels urgent. They think it is just for insurance. But once your device is open, you may not control what happens next. Quick reminder, this is for educational purposes only. This is not legal advice, and I am not your lawyer. Now back to the move. Say, I do not consent to a search of my phone. Consent means permission. You are putting a limit on the record. It tells the officer you are not volunteering your device. It means you did not open the door by choice. That matters. Most people think if asked, they have to unlock it. Not true. Another mistake is handing over an unlocked phone for one screen. That can expose much more than you planned. Move carefully. If you display insurance, keep it tight. Open only what you need. Do not scroll around or bounce between apps. Do not surrender it. If the request shifts to taking the phone, use the line. Keep your voice calm. Keep your hand steady. Do not debate the law. Just make your limit clear. Your phone holds a huge part of your life. Build the wall before the phone leaves your hand. Stay private. Next is the consent lock. This solves the casual search request. A lot of searches start with a soft question. Mind if I look? You do not have anything to hide, right? It will only take a second. That tone is what catches people. It sounds small and friendly. Saying no feels like looking guilty, so drivers nod and say sure. That is the trap. A soft yes is still yes. A nervous yes is still yes. Once you give permission, you made a later fight much harder. Most confuse politeness with permission. Refusal is not a confession. Say exactly this. I do not consent to any searches. That line is short and direct. You're simply not giving permission. Do not use weak words. Keep it clean. Then stop talking. Do not justify privacy. Do not prove innocence. Keep hands visible. If a search happens, do not fight. Let your words do the work. No drama, no rambling, no consent. Stay locked in. Send this to someone who needs it. Here's the last move. I call it the clean exit. Silence the nerves after the paperwork. Stop the talking that becomes evidence. Do not fill the silence. Say exactly this. I choose to remain silent. Am I free to go? Remain silent is a legal phrase.